Hi everyone, today I have a very special guest. He is Shanavas IAS. He's an IAS officer of the 2012 batch and now he's currently the Deputy Commissioner for Kohima district. So it's great that he has agreed to speak to us and to join for this conversation, and we'll talk on a range of issues and range of areas about administration, about law and order, and all of this stuff. So we'll just have a normal conversation today. So thank you so much, sir, for joining me for this conversation.
My
today.
pleasure.
So how have you been like after getting posted here as a deputy commissioner?
So this is my third district in my career. Like 2012, I joined the service.
Right.
So I was a deputy commissioner of Peak district, Zunaboto, before I joined as principal director school education.
Here.
Yeah, in Nagaland. So there, I was there for close to three years. Then I was posted as deputy commissioner of Kohima district. So I joined Kohima district as a DC last June.
Okay.
So it's been 10-11 months already.
Yeah.
11th month going on. So it's been good. Like I definitely have an experience of being a DC in a district, but capital city of Nagaland is something different. You have a lot of protocols also to do, and a lot of VIP visit also happened last year. We have the visit from President of India, Vice President, Prime Minister. So many dignitaries visited.
Right.
So it was a different experience, and it's going on, and I'm enjoying it.
And since you were a DC for other eastern districts also, like
not necessarily eastern. Like, so I was in Peak district and Zunaboto.
Okay, Peck district.
Yeah.
Okay, and Zunaboto. So I mean, if you were to point out one stark difference between these districts and Kohima district, like what would you say?
See, Nagaland, when you consider Kohima and Dimapur are so-called the developed districts, like you have at least better facilities out here. When you go to the remote parts of the state, definitely the facilities are very poor. The infrastructure is poor. This is the condition, road condition, everything goes bad. I'm not saying we have world-class roads in Kohima. Even Kohima has to improve a lot. But definitely the other districts, the situation is bad. And the challenges are almost the same because Nagaland is mainly a rural population. The people living in the villages and tribal population, different tribes. So the challenges when it comes to the law and order or even the land issues and all, it is common in all the districts. But definitely Kohima workload is a bit more compared to the other districts.
And of all your works, official works, I think there must be different areas of work.
Exactly.
Sometimes it could be developmental work. It could be law and order. And many works could just lie like under your care. So in Kohima, of all these works, all these thematic areas of work, what thematic area constitute the most majorly, like in your experience?
So the developmental works happen throughout the year, like in convergence with the various departments, whether it is education, health, Jal Jeevan mission. So you have a convergence with all the departments. You need to supervise the district level functioning of various departmental activities. But something interesting has happened recently, that is a general election. So definitely election time is one of the very challenging time for any civil servant. So we also had our share of difficulties and challenges in those 2-3 months. So we are glad that the elections are over and it happened peacefully in Kohima. So definitely that was a challenging time, but it's an experience. So I conducted the election as a district election officer. So DC is also called the district election officer when it comes to the election. So I conducted the election for the 4th time as a district election officer. Okay. So it was a very challenging time, but we had a very good team and the teamwork proved the results.
Now that you mentioned about your duty as an election officer, I mean, there were a lot of cases. Like many people were caught carrying huge amount of money, more than 10 lakhs, even up to 1 crore. Like bringing from other states, even from Manipur. So how did you tackle with that, and what happened after that?
So we have set guidelines and criteria. So we had a case of a transfer of more than 1 crore rupees from Manipur side to Kohima district, which we caught in Kusama check gate. So any seizure above 10 lakhs has to be reported to the income tax department. So the matter has been referred to income tax department. So now they are investigating it. So once they investigate, if any political connections are established, then they will act accordingly. So otherwise, the matter is with the income tax now. So any seizure below 10 lakh, definitely it comes to our committee. We have a set committee. So that time we analyze, we try to establish any political connections. If it's a genuine cash, then after certain inquiries, we release the money. So that's what is happening.
And that is one case when it comes to election. And once you catch them, I think that'll be reported. And
definitely.
Yeah, like you said. Even there are a lot of issues about ILP, right? And I think under your leadership, I mean, once you get posted here, you set up ILP some special task force. Like, how did that work?
So ILP, definitely any outsider coming into Nagaland, they need to have the inner line permit.
Yeah.
So we do checking. We have area administrative offices. For example, the people will enter mostly from the either Jakama side or Zubsa side. So we have SDO civils in both these places. So they will be the in-charge officers for the verification. So there will be a joint verification drive among district administration, police and other organizations. So we do check, and there are certain penalties and fines imposed under that rules if one is not carrying an ILP. And definitely then we have to tell that person to make an ILP within so and so time. So we see some documents from that person. So we make sure it is they carry their ILP, or if they don't, they make their ILP before proceeding further. But saying that, of course, we do have challenges of manpower constraints and everything, but we are trying our best, and definitely we have a dedicated branch in the DC office who is specifically dealing with ILP. We have an in-charge officer also. So nowadays, as you know, ILP can be applied online as well. So online and offline, both the ILP cell is tracking. And any concerns whenever raised by the civil societies or NGOs, we do listen to them. We do have an interaction. Then we do cooperate with them also. But we make sure the verification is happening from our end with all the stakeholders. And we also do spread the awareness among all these people who are engaging the laborers for the construction and other related activities, because they'll be applying ILP in bulk. So the guarantor, who will be a Naga person, so he has to be aware of this ILP and other penal mechanisms and facilities. So we are also creating awareness side by side.
Was there any incident of like the outsiders getting caught? And
definitely we caught some who without an ILP. So as I said, according to the rules, whatever fine had to be imposed, we imposed the fine as well. Then we made sure they come to the office and made their ILP without any further delay.
Okay. So from the estimation from the district, like Deputy Commissioner's office, do you think that anyone who enters without ILP are easily caught, or I mean, some of them are absconding even without getting caught?
So there is no case of absconding, because mostly the people from outside come through Assam. Because whoever is coming from Manipur side, they will be just trespassing Nagaland, because they will be going to other locations. So whoever is coming from Assam, they have multiple checks. First in Dimapur district, then in Chumukidima district. Then only they are entering Kohima district, right?
Yes.
So we cannot say that people are directly entering Kohima district and there is no checking happening, because they undergo 2-3 levels of checking before that. So definitely there will be isolated cases where ILP is missing and we are not able to catch them. But as far as possible, we are trying our best to monitor the situation closely.
Okay. And as someone who is looking after that, do you see the government getting serious in this ILP implementation?
So
it remains more or less the same.
No, definitely. Of course, government policy, the government will lay out the policy, but the implementation part comes to the district administration and other stakeholders in the field level. So I cannot just say that it's government's lookout, because I am also a part of government.
Yes.
So of course the policy is very clear, and implementation we have to do. So as I said, we are trying our best to do that. There may be some flaws isolated here and there, but we are trying to correct it.
Okay. Now, like in the recent past, Dimapur is also, people are demanding that Dimapur should be also enforced. But if we realize that Kohima it is not that successful, I think people will be discouraged to even implement this, spending a lot of money.
I disagree with that statement that it's not successful in Kohima, because we don't have any data to prove that it is not successful. So we do have a lot of applications coming in and out in the ILP section, and we do issue the ILP.
Okay.
So I disagree that it's unsuccessful. But of course, as I said, the isolated cases missing out, it will be there everywhere. Okay, but we are trying our best. So there is no cases like that coming into Kohima district. Okay. The other policies in the Dimapur and all, it's the government's lookout. So being just the Deputy Commissioner of Kohima, I won't be able to comment the issue of Dimapur.
Right. I think it's very interesting to very clarify this from your side also that ILB is on full swing, at least here in Kohima, because people have lost the faith. I mean, from our general observation, you realize that people are thinking that ILB is not implemented properly because we don't know the exact ground implementation story.
We welcome the people to come and check in the office, like how many people are applying. But through any right to information also, you will get the data. But definitely people are applying. And we are also creating awareness in all the subdivisions as well.
Yeah. And as someone who is leading this implementation force, is there anything that you would like to like the people to know, in a very special way?
So I like the people, especially the Nagas living in Kohima district, just to be confident on us. Like we are also trying our best. And those who are coming from outside, the ILP is not a document where you are punished or anything, but it's just an entry permit, as it is there in some other states as well, like Arunachal and all. So get your documents correct and enjoy Nagaland, enjoy Kohima. It's a beautiful place.
Absolutely. Okay, that's very clear already. I think our viewers will also get to realize that things are moving on. It's just that we don't have the idea of like how much the government officials are working on this due to communication gap, I would say. And recently now, the taxi stand from Kohima town has been shifted to the ISBT.
Okay.
I mean, and it has really helped clearing the traffic congestion for sure, and everybody experiences that. However, there is a complaint that, example, recently I took a taxi from Vivor Hotel to go to ISBT. It costed me about 400 rupees. And it has costed me to go to Dimapur, it costed me about just 330 rupees. But before I began the journey to get a taxi, it had costed me more than that. I mean, people have, people are also reasonable to say that it has added extra burden on their financial life. And it has added a lot of financial burdens, especially on the poorer section of society. The policy is good, and the policy is, achieving its objectives of clearing the traffic. But policy like this has reportedly added a lot of burden on the poorer section of the society. So as an administrator, how would you justify and how would you explain on this?
So before I respond to that, I'll just clarify about the shifting. Because it's not like all the taxis are shifted to the ISBT. So you have the local taxis, you have the regional taxis. Local taxis which ply within Kohima town. So they will have a lot of taxi stands in different parts of the town. So they are not shifted. They're here and there. And the regional taxis, there are Dimapur bound taxis which are shifted to ISBT, and even Assam bound. They are shifted to ISBT. Then there is this northern bound which goes to Woka district, Mokokchung and all, which are shifted to a little beyond Vivor Hotel. There is a parking place. And the southern bound taxis also on the verge of shifting, and this western bound which are going to this Jotsama side also on the verge of shifting. And the taxis are also bound to go to Phek district and beyond Phek, Kifre and all. So they are also shifted to another taxi point. So why we have done this? Because the regional taxi is originating, collecting passengers from here and originating within the heart of the town. It creates a lot of traffic. And as of now, Kohima town, there is it's like a proper bottleneck. We don't have a bypass road. There is a Kohima bypass under construction, but it will take another 2 or 3 years. So you don't have a other road to bypass. So everything moves within Kohima town. And you can't expand the road. The roads are what it is, and I believe at least for some years it will be what it will be because of the shops and houses just on the sides of the road. So 2-3 approaches we have done. One, banning heavy vehicles from entering Kohima town from early morning, 6 o'clock to evening. Then even the Manipur bound trucks are also stopped till late evening, so that there is no heavy vehicle movement within Kohima town. So when it comes to the shifting of taxis, we understand, of course, it's a financial burden. But at the same time, it's not like we haven't provided the feeder services. We have definitely provided the feeder services. NST buses originating from the NST stand are there dedicated for ISBT, which will charge only 10 rupees from NST. If someone is going from high school side, we also have provided a feeder service, which are smart city buses, 2 of them, which are plying to ISBT for only 20 rupees. Then there is service of smart city bus from BOC side as well. Again, only 10 or 20 rupees. So these facilities are already available. But usually, sometimes people, what they do, they would prefer to go by a taxi than to go by a bus. So if they additionally take a local taxi, definitely they'll have to pay the local taxi amount. Just like you're traveling from High School Junction to BOC, you'll have to pay something, right? So in the same way, they'll have to pay. But if someone is ready to wait for a feeder bus, which is already there available, someone is ready to go by a bus, so definitely the feeder services are available. And having said that, there are some problems definitely there, okay, and there will be some difficulties in the initial part. But I would like to request, and I would like to put my comment on record that these initial difficulties definitely will be there, but as a society, as a team, we'll have to work, because this shifting has not been done for any personal interest. Per day, we are reducing a traffic of 300 to 400 vehicles just by shifting that regional taxis to the ISBT, which is only 4 to 5 kilometers from the town. So if you see any major town or metro, definitely the regional taxis or regional services doesn't originate in the heart of the town where the town is located. It will be little bit towards the outskirt to the destination side, so that there is no such traffic coming into the main town of area. And as we all know, Kohima is like a choke point, so accommodating more regional taxis, it will be again difficult. And at the same time, our Kohima people, citizens are buying cars. Definitely we can't blame them. So per year there is an increase of 800 to 900 new registration vehicles in Kohima alone. So that is why the traffic is just going up. So we need to have remedial measures. So we are also working on the phasing out of very old vehicles, like old taxis and all. So that data is also we are collecting. So once that is done, so definitely we'll have more control over the traffic. As I said, it's not a one-time process or one-time approach. We need a teamwork, and even the citizens are part of the team. So initial difficulties, I understand, it is there, but if they can kindly bear with us and work as a team, we'll definitely increase the feeder services if required. We'll put in more buses as well. But this shifting is for the larger good, for a less traffic Kohima.
So it won't track back. The policy of shifting won't reverse by any means, right?
No, we are not planning to.
Rather, we can think of other solutions, like you said, providing more feeders bus.
Yeah, definitely. And Kohima bypass road coming up and all. So definitely it is there.
Yeah. Okay. Did you consider of the even odd number for the vehicles?
So that is not practical, of course. COVID time we had run for some days.
Yeah.
And COVID time, as I said, everyone they don't come out. They don't come out much because they were having that stigma of COVID.
Right.
And even G20 summit, 2 days we tried. But definitely it will lessen the traffic. But you can't do that every day. Like if I have a car with an odd number, I'll be running my car only 3-4 days in a week for no mistake of mine.
Right.
So definitely you can't, any emergency, you can't just ask that person not to take your vehicle. So as a government, as a administration team, we need to have sustainable solutions. But I don't think odd even is a sustainable solution.
In a place like Kohima, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, whatever policy, whatever changes that we as a government tries to make it, I think it's for the people, and it should be people friendly.
Yes.
And any policy that creates a lot of issues for people, I mean, it negates even the purpose or objective of like existence of government itself.
Totally understood.
Yeah. So when you provide more feeder to ISBT, definitely I think the only reason people are complaining is not the time factor that it takes for them to reach ISBT, but the financial factor that there's so much into.
But as I said, the feeder services. The reports we are getting from Smart City, they are running the buses with only 2-3 passengers. Means people are not ready to go by bus. They want to go by taxi. So of course, convenience is one thing, but it's a short distance. If they can use these services, which are like good condition buses, so definitely I think it will be a big relief for them, because they charge only 20 rupees or so.
Right.
Yeah. Compared to the taxi, which will charge you 200 to 300 additional rupees. So yeah, as you said, the policies are for the public good, and definitely initially people will have difficulties and there will be difference of opinion. But we are also working towards a better Kohima with the support of the people. So I'm sure the people will support us.
Right. And as a deputy commissioner in Kohima, there must be a lot of issues when it comes to law and order.
Yeah.
And what is the most pressing issues here in Kohima when it comes to law and order?
Issues are like different. Of course, we do have villages in Kohima, and there will be village level conflicts also, or land issues happening. which will not have any very immediate solution, but we need a lot of stakeholder consultation, we need a lot of negotiations, and we try to solve the issue. But otherwise, Kohima is a peaceful place. As I said, like there is no animosity among people here. People are living good, and being capital city, of course, a lot of political functionaries and executives are also staying here.
Yeah.
So no major law and order issue as of now. Whenever something raises up, we do coordinate with the police and other stakeholders, and we do tackle the issue.
Sure. So, and when it comes to land issue, how do you tackle with it? Because like the Act of Parliament has not covered the Nagaland when it comes to land and properties.
Yes.
Due to Article 371A.
So definitely we don't get involved into their land issue and just say that this is your land and this is his land.
Right.
But the land belongs to the people here.
Yeah.
So, but if they have any law and order issues creeping up, or if they have any difference of opinion, we do facilitate a stakeholder consultation, and the parties come together and discuss with us, so that we make sure there is no law and order issue and things are going on smoothly. Being said that, of course, there are land issues in the town areas which will be covered under the revenue system. So that also we take up as and when things are coming up. Yeah.
Right. And now this question is about, I'm really interested to know about your personal thoughts on your life as well.
Okay.
I mean, as an IAS officer,
Yes.
What motivates you the most every day? You get up, work, go to work. I mean, for others, it's for business entrepreneurs, it's the amount of money they're making.
Okay.
In simple term. But as an IAS officer, I don't think like you can be very, very rich. As an IAS officer, and if you're extremely rich, then there's possibility that there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think about it?
See, of course, talking from my perspective, being an IAS officer, I don't dream that I'm indispensable and I'm the only one who can change the world or change the society or something like that. But I can be part of a larger team which can make a lot of differences. And with the capacity, with the position I am in, every small activity which I do on a daily basis, it will impact a lot of lives. For example, if I don't delay things which are coming to my table, if I clear everything on time, definitely that will have a positive impact on a lot of people. But if I don't clear many things, I keep pending a lot of things, definitely that will have a bad impact on a lot of people. So on a daily basis, you are changing lives, you are impacting lives. So that is one thought which will motivate me. So till now I am motivated. Even now I am motivated. So I hope I don't get demotivated. So till the motivation is on, I will be in service. Yeah.
So the whole motivation revolves around helping people. I mean, people are the center point for the motivation as an IAS officer. So how about like because I'm not so much aware of like the actual perks of as an IAS officer. I think many of our viewers will be interested to know.
There is no perks. You are getting your salary. That's it. Nothing much. And maybe a little bit departmental honorarium for some meetings, like few thousands you get. But other than that, nothing. It's like just your salary and your accommodation. You have a place to stay and you have a good accommodation. So these are the perks, like nothing much. You're not a private entity where you are like earning a lot of profit or anything. You have a fixed salary. Every year you have an increment. So that is how the government works. Not only for the IAS officer, for any government servant, up to the peon level or even the secretary level, everyone is based on salary.
So are you genuinely enjoying like serving the people as an administrator? Yes.
So as I said, every place has its positives and negatives. Of course, Nagaland has some negatives and Nagaland has a lot of positives as well. But if you just stick on the negatives, then you will be frustrated. You will be the first person who will be frustrated. So I don't want to frustrate myself. So I try to focus on the positives and try to sort out the negatives as far as possible. So that keeps me moving. Yeah.
I think I have known you for quite some time, and from my experience with you, I think you are one person who is not like a typical bureaucrat that we see in our day-to-day life. You know, you have one person who is very approachable and who considers everyone as friend. You literally remove all those barriers as in the common people and the top bureaucrat. So is it something that you are doing like purposely, or is it part of your character?
I think it's part of my character only. And as I said, being an officer, you get power and you get responsibility.
Right.
But if the power only takes over the responsibility, then it will spoil you as a officer, as a person as well. So I think you're sitting in that chair because of the people. If there is no district, if there is no people, like, you are not a deputy commissioner anymore, right? So I think that is why we have to talk to everyone decently. And definitely when things come to fight, you'll have to fight with people also, but you'll have to support people also. But that is what the situation will demand. But otherwise, you have to be a normal person. You have to treat everyone as a person, as an equal. Yes.
And how does your normal day look like as a DC of Kohima?
So definitely I have my professional life and I have my personal life also. So I wake up quite early morning, and I do my workout, I play badminton, I do my gymming. Sometimes in the evenings I go for my running and cycling as well. And daytime I am here in the office. Then I do have friends, as you said. So I meet my friends also often.
So it's been more than a decade now that you have been working as an IAS officer. How many more years do you look forward to working as in this position?
That's a very tricky question actually. You are in service if you are alive till you're 60 years of age, as per the Government of India rules. But definitely, of course, if you are alive, so that is not in your hands. And you don't know what the future will hold for you. Things may change. You may be in service, you may not be in service. So I don't think for future that much. Like, of course, you have your day with you. You do your best what you can. You do something good. You live your day. So you go to bed with satisfaction. You wake up the next day and again the same story. So let us see what the future holds. But
Absolutely.
we don't plan too long.
I think that's quite inspiring. I think that's the right attitude we all should carry, in although we're in a lot of different professions. I think people really like you from my observation. And
thank you for that.
I think people really like you. And no wonder, in 2021, you got the Governor Award for Meritocracy. I mean, how did you feel about it, and how do you want to...
It feels good when your works are recognized. And as I said, like, of course, you don't get immersed in all those things also. You don't think that this is the world's end. You have achieved a gold medal, and that is it. You don't have to do anything more. It doesn't work like that. It gives you more motivation to do more things. But as I said, I'm happy. I'm happy that government has recognized it, and I'll try to do more good for the people out here in Nagaland.
And as someone who has integrated so well, into the Naga Society, I think people would definitely like to know, from what I assume is, what is one thing that Nagas should change at all,
Okay. One thing I feel Naga should change is that Naga should own the public property a little bit too much. Nowadays, like, what we do, we get engaged in our private development. We want to have good houses, good cars, everything good for us. But we don't think about the government properties that much. For example, the government buildings or the roads or anything. So just like we love our house and our car and our facilities, I think we should start loving the government premises as well. And we should start protecting it together. Then I think we'll go a long way.
I think that's right to the point, sir. I think that's a very, very legit point. And one thing that you like about Nagas?
It's a very egalitarian society. People don't respect you, or people don't judge you for what you are, or what religion you're coming in, what caste you're coming in. But people will love you or will hate you for the work you do. So people will, if you do good, people will definitely like you, irrespective of where you come from and where you belong. So that is one thing I like about Nagaland.
Great. And I think most of my viewers are, there are a lot of aspirants also, like, they watch a lot, and that's the feedback that I normally get. So in Nagaland, either for NPSC or NSSP or UPSC, I think there are lots of aspirants. I think we have talked about this even in the last year, but still, I think into 2023 as an Kohima DC, I think this is what they all want to become as an aspirant, serving as a DC, serving as a collector in different districts. What one solid advice would you give to the youngsters?
Only one thing I want to say to the youngsters. I won't say anyone to become a civil servant or a doctor. It is your choice. But whatever you want to become, believe in yourself. Nagaland, I have seen among the young people a lot of lack of confidence. People are not confident of themselves. Like, they are happy with whatever little they have. They don't dream much. So I just encourage the youngsters to dream a lot. Like, dream a lot and dream to the world. Your dreams should not be limited within Nagaland. You should actually aim for a lot. then whatever you aim for, I think you should work hard for it as well. And it takes a lot of dedication and sacrifice. Dedication means your daily routine has to change. You should stick to your routine. You should stick to whatever you do. Even when you sleep, you should have that dream in your mind. You should actually wake up with that dream. So till you achieve that, you should not rest. So work hard, dream big. I think you will achieve it.
And in order to facilitate young people to help achieve their dream, is there any scope where district administration can even like give a helping hand or something?
So if there are definitely genuine people interested, of course we don't have a sitting mechanism right now what to do with them, but definitely if they approach us, we can think of something like a mentoring or even a motivation. We can do that. We do have resources and connection with a lot of people and organizations who are into this, so we can facilitate and we can make sure that people work hard and they achieve their dreams.
Wow. By reckoning with that, I think I would like to mention this to my viewers, that if you are really interested to get some, not financial help, of course, but some facilitating your work to achieve your dream, I think as an aspirant or from any profession, you should collectively come and approach our DC Sir Shanavas.
You're welcome. Yeah,
I think he would be the right person to, and he would be ever ready to discuss about it. I think he is someone, as a Naga, whom we should really make use of his service and his approachability. I think he would be ever ready to have a conversation with you on this also.
Definitely, I'll do that.
Yeah. So, sir, I think thanks for joining on this conversation.
Yeah, my
and
pleasure.
I think it really clarifies a lot of doubts and a lot of confusions about how the administration works, and it relates to a lot of public policy as well and public convenience too. So, thanks for clarifying that in such a
Thank you very much for having me here. I think it's second time we are talking.
Yes, second time we're talking.
We never get bored of talking. Thank you very much.
I think we'll talk for the third time in the near future again, if possible.
Let's hope so.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.